You two are going to be competing against each other over the next 8-hour weapons building competition. Now, the choice of weapons is not up to us. Jay, because you won the first round, I'm going to open up our Forge and Fire vault and give you access to all the weapons in there that were built by previous champions. And you get to select one of them to build against Ben. Are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's do this.
Wow.
All right. Going up against Ben is going to be super tough. So I'm going to pick a weapon that would be a challenge for him, hoping that it'll give me a better advantage.
Great choice. All right, Jay, you chose the medieval Sword of Mystery. The medieval Sword of Mystery has puzzled the world since its discovery in England back in 1825. Believed to date back to the 13th century, it earned its name for the mysterious inscription on the blade that to this day, no one has been able to decipher. Smiths in the Forge and Fire arena have also attempted to crack this mystery back in Season 8, but a parameter failure cost one competitor the title. All right, Jay, you have one more decision to make. You not only got to choose the weapon, but you also get to choose the technique that you and Ben will have to use in order to make this weapon. You got anything in mind?
Yeah, I think we should do Raindrop Damascus.
Ooh, all right. Now, gentlemen, we have put 8 hours on the clock. Good luck. Your 8 hours starts now.
I think every time I do one of these competitions, the stress level goes up. And this sort of makes this even worse. It's just so much to do, and I'm just nervous that I'm not going to have enough time.
Ooh, that's a big one.
For me to get a good raindrop pattern, I'm going to cut and restack my billet to end up with 139 layers total.
Okay, welding. One thing I've noticed is when you guys are competing, you do a lot of what you say at the table while you're out working on the floor. Ben's no different. He talks about pace, he talks about speed, he talks about multitasking, and he's sprinting.
I'm right on track for where I want to be.
Here we go.
I feel like I'm struggling to keep up with the pace that I need to keep up. I picked over at Ben, and the way he was running around, I thought he might be building a spaceship. When you're going up against the best, you gotta get crafty.
No way. He's making a raindrop die. Smart move.
That's going to speed up this process tenfold.
Yeah, we were talking about the raindrop being the most time-consuming part of this build, and he's just knocked a ton of that process out. So Ben's getting ready to do his quench. All right, here we go. All right, 3 hours and 15 minutes left. Ben's now quenched. Looking good.
It looks straight to me. Time to go get to work on the pommel and the cross guard.
Now I gotta get this thing quenched. There's a couple surface delams that I wasn't able to completely get out, but I just have to go with what I've got.
There we go. All right, Jay is now quenched.
Hard. The quench went pretty well, but I hope these little issues don't cost me in the end.
Five, four, three, two, one. Gentlemen, turn off your machines, put down your tools. This round is over.
Champions, welcome to the dynamic kill test. Jay, you're first. You ready for this?
Let's do this. I'm worried about a couple surface delams that I wasn't able to completely get out, so that makes me kind of nervous. But anything can happen.
All right, Jay, let's talk about your sword here. First up, when I picked it up, I was wondering about the kind of wrap that you're putting on this, but it actually works very well, and it's comfortable. Nice job on that. The pommel does pull back a little bit of the balance, but it's still a little bit forward heavy. Now your edge. Those first shots were very deep into this big carcass, but After the clay pot shot, you could see that there was some type of dulling because it didn't cut as sharp. But more importantly, your weapon, sir, it will kill.
Thank you.
Okay, Ben, your turn, sir. You ready?
Sure.
All right, let's do this.
Going into testing, I feel nervous. I've seen them chip out blades. I've seen them do serious damage. So now I'm just hoping that my edge geometry is good enough to hold up.
All right, Ben, first up, your handle dimensions are perfect for my hands. I also like the work that you did with your pommel and your guard. Now, your edge, same thing. Your first initial cuts are very deep. But after the clay pot strikes, you can see where it took some dulling in this sweet spot right here. But it will heal.
All right, gentlemen, it's time for our dynamic strength test, the bamboo and watermelon chop. Jay, you're up first.
Let's do it. After the first test, I'm worried about my edge. Because if my knife doesn't perform and doesn't cut like it needs to, I could be going home.
All right, Jay, right off. There's an edge there. I wouldn't want to be hit with this thing. And you can see it cut into the bamboo and it cut through the bags, but it's an impact tool as opposed to a really slicing tool. All in all, I think it's a really good looking piece. But as far as the edge goes, it's just not as sharp as I'd really like it to be. All right, Ben, you ready to go?
Do it, Dave.
All right.
Good job, man.
Thanks, man.
All right, Ben. First off, beautiful pattern, man.
Thank you.
That really came out well. You know, I can see the raindrops on all the high spots. That's really nicely done. It's got a good weight to it. It's not very heavy. As far as the cutting goes, blade held up fine. It's easy to use and it's got a good feel to it, so nicely done.
Thank you.
Well, gentlemen, this has been a very exciting competition, and you both performed extremely well. So much so that it made for a very difficult decision for our judges. The winner of this Beat the Unbeaten competition is... Ben Abbott. Now, Jay, you fought extremely hard. You gave us a great blade, but unfortunately, it just didn't make the cut today, and Dave's gonna tell you why.
Jay, this was really close. Both of your blades took almost identical damage. Both of your blades performed very closely. So this came down to the finest of details. Your competitor just beat you out by that much with the fit and finish of his blade.
Well, Jay, you're clearly a fierce competitor, a talented smith, and before you step off the floor, I would love to shake your hand. You have fun?
Oh, yeah.
Good.
To not get the win, you know, that stinks. But this whole experience has been great. We made awesome swords, and it feels good to say Ben Abbott just beat me by this much.